Hello folks. So let's speak about the month of November today. As usual, if you prefer to read about the overall trends, I've posted this on my website as well. So have a look there for more details. So let's get into this. So, what is happening in November? Now, the first half of the month will have a similar feel to October, so it could bring some heated talks, unexpected shifts in relationships, leading to anxiety or stress. But from mid-month onward, you will see a turning point for the better. The big news this month is, of course, the eclipse in Taurus and Jupiter's return to Aquarius. And these are both positive shifts happening mid-month onward. Yeah, so there's going to be I think there'll be a better sense of optimism and a better sense of direction and clarity at that point. So what else is going on? Venus transits Sagittarius from October 30th till December the 8th. But Venus will actually return to Sagittarius on December the 30th because it will go retrograde on December the 19th. I will speak about this Venus transit in more detail and post a video shortly on this, yeah. This is a much better transit for Venus than what we experienced in Scorpio, and it will get better mid-month onward. The reason being is that in the beginning of the transit, we have the dispositor Jupiter toward the end degrees of Capricorn. Also, Venus is still making a connection to Ketu because it's transiting Mula Nakshatra. Though at this time there are no malefic aspects to Venus. But you still may be questioning yourself about the person that you're with, the people that you're with, especially if it's an intimate relationship. So this could result in a separation, some distancing and breaks in intimate relationships. But the situation improves by mid-November, and by the time Jupiter moves into Aquarius on November 20th, this transit will be more enjoyable. It's a good transit for all dual signs: Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces. Mercury moves into Libra on November the 2nd, where it will stay till November the 21st. Normally this is a positive transit for Mercury, but once again Mercury is approaching a heated conjunction with both Mars and Sun already present in Libra. To further complicate matters, Libra is getting the aspect of Saturn. So this will add frustration and anger to the mix. Because we're seeing this in Libra, you may not be getting along with people at this time. There may be frustration with relationships, with projects involving others, with negotiating contracts, agreements, that kind of thing. Socializing, dating. You could see some setbacks here also and some frustration. So things may not go your way until mid-month. There's a new moon on November the 4th in Libra at 18 degrees in the nakshatra of Swati at approximately 9 p.m. UTC. This is a fiery new moon with the Sun, Moon, Mars, all in Rahu's nakshatra in Swati, and Rahu in Sun's nakshatra, Kritika. The dispositor, of course, of this new moon is Venus, which is third from the new moon, and Rahu is eighth from the new moon. It's also getting the exact opposition aspect of Uranus. There could be some shocks and some surprises, depending on where, what is signified by Venus, as well as Taurus and Libra in your chart. Yeah. So look at Taurus and Libra, where they fall in your chart, but also look at the lordship of Venus as well as Rahu for clues. Swati exemplifies changeable energy, and Rahu's strong association with the new moon from that 6-8 angle means unexpected and unwanted change. And then, of course, on November 9th and 10th, there is a Sun, Mars, Mercury conjunction in Libra. Mars and Mercury are exactly conjunct in war, in fact. Similar to what we saw last month in Virgo. This time, however, the Sun is sufficiently far away in Vishaka. There's a strong connection to Rahu, the change maker, again here, as both Mercury and Mars are in Swati connecting with Rahu, and Mars is also aspecting Rahu. The mutual aspect of Saturn and Mars adds to the frustration here. At the same time, we also have a Moon-Saturn conjunction in Shravan, resulting in a feeling of helplessness and general discontent. So these few days, from November 6th till November the 11th, can bring up some unexpected challenges. And these can also be ongoing issues from last month. Because it's Libra, it will be matters connected to relationships, contracts, business deals. So it's also not a good time for buying or selling anything. If you have a planet in Libra, it will be adversely affected, and you will feel this transit more directly. You could also see some setbacks to your plans and to your goals as far as connecting with other people at this time. Yeah. Now, with the Combust Mars, you can feel overly competitive and irritated at the possibility of things not going your own way. It can also bring low self-confidence at this time. Mars has been traveling very close to the Sun and will continue to do so till the end of November. When there is excessive fire energy, it's actually best to release it through physical activity if you can, any sort of exercise. Yeah. For Libra, Scorpio, and Aries is a challenging time, as well as for Pisces and Virgo. Everyone will be impacted to some extent, though. But there will be a complete turnaround after mid-month. Matters will come to some sort of resolution, some sort of culmination. And the first sign of this uplifting energy comes when the Sun moves into Scorpio, away from its debilitation and away from the gaze of Saturn. So the Sun transits Scorpio from November the 16th till December the 15th. Here the Sun is caught in the nodal cycle, pointing to some unfinished business resurfacing pertaining to where Scorpio falls in your chart. On November the 23rd, we have a Sun-Ketu conjunction in Scorpio, and on November the 25th, a Mercury-Ketu conjunction. So this can leave some people feeling a little bit out of sorts. It may be a very good time at this time to have some rest and relaxation activities in your life. Yeah. And this is especially the case for Leos, Gemini, and Virgo people. The big news this month, of course, is the eclipse taking place in Taurus on November the 19th. This eclipse will feature relationships, again, because it's in Taurus, but in a more promising and hopeful light than we had in the summer months. It's taking place in Kritika, at the exact exaltation of the moon in 3 degrees of Taurus. Talking about this eclipse in detail, so I will link the video here so that you can hear more about it. The best news of the month is Jupiter's return to Aquarius on November the 20th, right after the eclipse. This Capricorn transit of Jupiter for 2 months could have been very intense for some people. Every time a slow-moving planet like Jupiter or Saturn returns to a place, especially when it's retrograde, and this was the 3rd time Jupiter was returning to Capricorn, then that's very concentrated energy. So depending on where Capricorn falls in your chart and what else is going on in your chart, these 2 months could have been quite heavy. But Jupiter finally leaves its stability sign in association with Saturn in Capricorn. And it's also free from Rahu's aspect now. These other 2 factors compounded the heaviness of that transit, right? Because we're talking about Saturn and Rahu mixing with Jupiter. Now, this return to Aquarius, similarly, it's returning to a sign, and therefore, again, the energy will be more intense, but it is free from the association of Rahu and Saturn. And in fact, this is going to be an especially good transit for all the air signs, including Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, as well as the fire signs, including Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, because of where Aquarius falls for these signs. If you're going through the dasha of Jupiter, or even Mars, this translation, this return to Aquarius is very good news for you. At this point, Jupiter is in Dhanishta, whose controlling planet is Mars, situated in Libra, making a 5-9 aspect with Jupiter, and also in Nakshatra Parivartan, because they're in each other's nakshatras. So all matters that came up during some, like, confrontational period, perhaps this month, perhaps last month, can be resolved with an amicable outcome now. Again, this is especially the case if you are air or fire signs, or if you have a lot of planets there. This represents a turning point, and it can lead to forward momentum with compromises for over contentious matters that were impacted by Libra, as now Libra is getting the gaze of a strong Jupiter, right? Rather than just the gaze of Saturn. I'm going to link below the video on Jupiter's movement into Aquarius for the next 5 months. So, as I said, the first half of the month can be a bit difficult for many people, but we'll experience a positive shift mid-November onward. And even if you have challenges come up, you will find the solution and take progressive steps to resolve them. Yeah. All the best, folks. Cheers.